Hi everyone, and welcome to my May recap, where I will be chatting with you about all the things that went on in May, tarot and non-tarot related. So May felt like a very busy and frenetic month for me. I felt like I was all over the place, just kind of mentally. There was something going on every weekend. I had, some kind of obligation, social obligation, and then on top of that, work was really busy. And then, in my spare time, I was really focusing on my own writing. So I just feel like I wasn't as productive with certain projects as I wanted to be. I mean, I am happy that I made the progress I did with my manuscript, but with everything else, I don't know. But in any case, let us start with tarot and Lenormand. So for the month of May, I worked with a couple tarot decks. One is Tarot of a Moon Garden, and I gotta say, I really, really love this deck. I felt so happy whenever I was using it. I love the imagery. I know that some people find it to be a bit blurry, which I can understand. I always saw the kind of blurriness as supposed to be kind of a moonlit-like filter, but it could also be just shitty production. And there's a lot of detail going on, details that I did not even notice until this month when working with the deck. And so I can see why a lot of people say that it's just a little too much with just the blurriness and all the details, but I, for the most part, didn't have a problem. Like, I just really enjoyed this deck. I enjoyed, like I said, yeah, the style of imagery. It's very much up my street, the whole kind of storybook fantasy realm. And this deck is RWS, but it's this kind of blend of RWS and pips. So I was wondering if I would have trouble kind of blending the two, if you will. And I found that it wasn't an issue. And I'm really loving the pips, especially with the swords. So like, for instance, here, the Three of Swords, instead of the, bloody heart, we do see the Rider-Waite influence here, but it's a heart made out of, ferns or plants. And so there's more for me to work with. So I really love this. And then likewise, 10 of Swords, we do still see the figure on the ground, but she is not impaled to a bloody pulp. And so again, I really liked this rendition of the card. It gives me more to work with. And there are different ways that you can interpret the figure here and what that means. So I honestly thought that this deck might get shafted for the Star Tarot. I thought I would be working way more with the Star Tarot, and it turned out that it was the opposite. Star Tarot got a little bit shafted. I did still work with it a good deal, but I definitely worked with this way more. So speaking of the Star Tarot, another awesome deck that I really enjoyed working with. My decks for May just made me happy. They really did. I am not a fan of the gloss, this glossy cardstock. It made for difficult picture taking, so I didn't really post a lot of this on my Instagram because it's just hard to get some good pictures of this. But again, like the Tarot of a Moon Garden, we do see this bit of a blend of like RWS and then more of the pip style, and I really liked it. I really liked it. Now, I did trim off the titles and the borders, and so some of the cards were a little bit difficult. I would get them mixed up. So for instance, here we have the Eight of Wands, which is beautiful, and I just wrote the number really small here at the bottom. So this is Eight of Wands, but then here we have the Ten of Swords, which I love this interpretation of the Ten of Swords, or this image. But you can see how I would get the two suits mixed up here. But overall, I really enjoyed working with this deck. It was an easy deck to work with, and I learned a lot by reading this book. It is a lot of information, but it's all great information. I didn't get through the entire book because there is a lot, and every symbol or every detail in the image means something. It symbolizes something. So that's a lot. And you know, some of that I take and some of that I leave. But this is a great book. And can I say, one of the things I love about this book is that they actually include headers. Because a lot of us use these guidebooks, we return to them and kind of flip through for quick references. And I end up writing my own headers at the top so I can quickly reference the card that I want. And this book has already done that for me, and I wish other books would do that as well. In terms of Lenormand, I said I was going to be working with the Gilded Reverie, but I changed my mind because since I was reading this book, The Complete Lenormand Oracle by Caitlín Matthews, I thought, well, oh my God, I have her Enchanted Lenormand deck, so I decided to pull that out and use that instead. So it was fun to read the book and then use her deck to practice. And I have heard that some people think that this Lenormand is a little bit busy with, you know, the wood and ivy framing, and then you've got I guess the actual focal point within like a globe, and then the playing card association. So it's a lot, but I don't mind. I think busy decks don't bother me, I guess, as much. I mean, it depends, but I still feel like the images are pretty clear and I know exactly what I'm looking at. So I think this is a very pretty deck. I did not read all of this. I read a good deal, and I do think this is a great comprehensive resource. I like that she provides little practices that you can do, and then she has like the answer key in the back, so that's great. But it came to a point where once you progress throughout the chapters, the subject gets just way more in the weeds with all the different things that you can do with Lenormand, and at that point I was just like, I'm good. I'm good for now. So I haven't finished it, and I think I'll kind of put this aside for a little bit, and if I want to, I have this to come back to at any time I want. So, and then I received another Lenormand set, and I've already made a video about this, but this was my early birthday gift to myself because June is my birth month, and so I will put a link to that video in the cards. But this is the Jamie Sawyer Lenormand tiles. Well, this is my Peggy bag, and here are the tiles, so you can refer to that walkthrough video if you want to take a look at the images. But they're just so beautiful. So I had to definitely also play around with these awesome tiles. Just great quality and a lot of fun to work with. vivid imagery for it being on such a petite little tile. So yeah, I definitely splurged with this, and why not? It's a milestone birthday for me. I deserve it. So this was really, I was really excited to get this. And then finally, on another tarot related note, I won a giveaway. I cannot believe I won a giveaway because I never win anything. And when I do, it's shit I don't want. But this was really cool. So Erin at Book Lioness, she had this project, this community tarot project where people who wanted to participate could decorate cards from the Bianco Nero deck. And I won't go into all that. I can, because I just got this today. So I'm planning on doing an unboxing of this, and I can explain more of that in that video. And I can also link Erin's video in the cards as well, where she talks about her project. But I just got this, and I'm excited to look because Erin did do a quick walkthrough of the decks she had received some months ago, but I think since then she's probably received more cards. So if you're interested, be on the lookout for this unboxing. I am so thrilled. I can't believe it. I really can't. I never win anything. For books, I did end up finishing Circus of the Damned by Laurell K. Hamilton. It's part of the Anita Blake Vampire Hunter series. It is book 3. I thought it was okay, but I was pretty much over it. You know, the first 3 were just, you know, it's okay. I also finished Shadowsong on audio by S. Jae-Jones. And in my last recap video, I was saying how I wasn't sure I was going to even finish this because I was frankly bored. And this is a sequel to Winter Song, which Winter Song I really loved. And it's basically kind of like a retelling of the Goblin King fairy tale folklore. But yeah, I almost quit this audiobook a few times, and as I was approaching the point where I was going to stop, the plot started to pick up a little bit. So then I kept listening, and then it would kind of get slow again, and would be ready to quit, and then it would pick up again. So eventually I just ended up finishing it because there wasn't much left to listen to. And I mean, I did want to know the ending. I did want to know what happened. And I would say the ending was satisfactory, but it was just getting to the ending that was underwhelming. And then I don't have the book here with me, but I did start the Steampunk series Soulless by Gail Carriger. I just haven't really made my way too much into that because I've been so busy this month, but I am looking forward to hopefully finishing that this month. Movies, I saw Avengers Endgame. I enjoyed it. It was like 5 trillion hours long, but it actually didn't feel like 5 trillion hours long. So that's a positive. I felt like some parts were kind of predictable, but it's okay. I just overall it was good. It wasn't fabulous, but it was good. I also went to see John Wick 3, Parabellum. That was also entertaining. I have loved Keanu Reeves since I was like 14, so I will pretty much watch anything he does. And the first John Wick was by far the best, in my opinion. This movie, the third one, it had a lot of great fight scenes, of course. The choreography was fantastic. A couple of the fight scenes towards the end felt a little bit long for me, and a little bit over the top. But I just think in general these movies are supposed to be over the top. That's what you should expect. So it's not like I was surprised by that. And the plot like the storyline is secondary to Keanu looking hot and Keanu kicking ass, basically. For TV, the only thing I really watched was Game of Thrones. I didn't watch anything else. I was just too tired and didn't have the time. I'm gonna try not to give spoilers here, but just in case something slips, you might want to fast forward a little bit if you haven't seen the season yet or are planning to watch the series. I was left wanting, let's just say that. I felt a bit disappointed. I think the showrunners kind of did a disservice to some of the characters in terms of their plot arc. And, you know, I didn't think the whole season was bad. I mean, I know some people were going on, like, I know they were going on about how, like, the whole season sucked. And there's even some petition about, a petition for them to, like, redo the season, which is absolutely asinine. I liked episodes 1 through 3. There were six episodes. And episodes 1 through 3, I really enjoyed. Definitely faster paced, but it didn't bother me so much. I knew they had to cover a lot of ground, and I liked episodes 1 through 3. Episode 4 was more like, I'm not sure about some of these choices. And then episode 5 was like, what the fuck? I mean, what the actual fuck? And then the final episode was just like, whatever. I don't care, whatever. So that's pretty much my sentiment as I went through the episodes and finished the season. I will say what placated me a little bit with the last episode is that the characters, well, most of them, do end up in situations that make sense. Well, they end up in situations that you feel like they will be content or content enough in, I guess. Other memories. So in the beginning of May, I went to visit my friend in Orlando over the weekend, and I was visiting her so that we could go to a past life regression retreat. It's like a one-day kind of retreat together. And so it was really fun to hang out with her. It was fun to see her place, because she had moved a year or two before, and I never got a chance to see her place, and she had recently redecorated and fixed up a couple parts of her townhouse, and it's gorgeous. And I honestly felt like I was staying at like Chateau des M, you know, because she was just the greatest hostess, and she even left like a little, you know how when you go to like a hotel room, like a swanky hotel room, and they might leave like a little gift for you on the bed or something, or mints, or, you know, a little something. Well, she had left for me like this little gift bag, which was so sweet of her. I mean, it included an eye mask, it included soap, essential oil samples, and my favorite was this tea towel from this company that she says she really loves called Rifle Paper Company, and I've never heard of that company before, but it's this beautiful tea towel, and I've been using it as a reading cloth because I think it is so pretty. So she was just the most gracious hostess. And, you know, we visited some of her favorite crystal shops, and we just kept things low key. And then, you know, all of Sunday was the past life regression retreat. And that was interesting. You know, my first time ever doing a past life regression session. And, you know, I'm still thinking about it, processing it. And I was thinking, oh, should I do a video on this? And I wasn't sure if you guys would be interested in hearing about my past life regression session, but if you are, let me know in the comments and I can certainly talk about that in another video, and if I felt that it worked or didn't, and what I saw in my past life. But yeah, it was a good time all around. It really was. And then on another weekend, I hung out with my one friend who was doing a figure skating competition. So we all went to see her and support her and cheer her on. She is an adult beginner. So she actually started figure skating when she, you know, later in life when she was like early 20s. And so she was competing for some silver level, I'm not sure, but she won second place, which was amazing. We were so happy for her because she didn't think she would place at all. So for her to get second, she was ecstatic. She looked great, she skated great, and it was I'm glad I was there to support her. So June is my birth month, and I'm excited about that. Am I excited about that? I mean, I don't know. I'm still processing that too, but so, depending on the year, my birthday falls on the summer solstice. Not this year, but it has before, and so that's cool when that happens. But yeah, I don't really have plans. I don't know that I want to make huge plans. Matt keeps bugging me like, oh, you know, you're turning 40, it's like a big deal, we should do something special. And part of me is just like, I just want to be left alone. I mean, and that's no offense to anybody, it's no offense to him, it's no offense to my friends, and I'm sure I will go out with them and go out with my sister, and you know, we'll celebrate that way. But I do think there will be a day or two in there that I will want just for myself. So in any case, okay, tarot and Lenny decks, because I am reading a steampunk novel, I thought it'd be apropos to work with the steampunk tarot. And I've worked with this some, and not a whole lot, but I really do enjoy the imagery. And it's maybe a little bit obnoxious that I bought a steampunk tarot deck without ever having read steampunk, but it's just, the images are so awesome. And when I have used this deck, it's been an easy read because it is very much Rider-Waite-Smith based. And so this deck has never been a problem for me. And Barbara Moore wrote the guidebook, and the guidebook is great too. So I look forward to working more with this deck. For Lenormand, because the Gilded Reverie got shafted last month, I will work with this one this month. Probably also my Lenny tiles. I'm still having a blast with those, so I'll probably vacillate between those two. Oracle, you know I haven't worked with Oracle a whole lot. Here and there over the month of May, I would go to my shelf and just grab a deck and do a quick draw here and there, but I have not dedicated the month to a certain deck. And I'm okay with that. You know, I don't have many Oracle decks, and you know, my focus has been on tarot and Lenormand, and I'm okay with that. I think maybe in July there's an oracle that I might want to work with because there's a tarot deck that I feel like I will be getting in June. So I think those two would pair nicely, but we'll see. And then for books, as I said, I'm going to finish Soulless. There was an audiobook that I thought I would start in May and I didn't, which was Wundersmith, The Calling of Morrigan Crowe. I have that on audio and I do plan to start that now that I've finished Shadowsong. And then finally, I have this pretty thing right here that I am really excited to get into, which is Ethony's Your Tarot Court. And I think that's it. So I hope you all are well, and thanks for hanging out with me for this recap. And I will see you again very soon. Take care.